Welcome. My name is Kahehun Joki and you're listening to the African Tour Tales podcast on the Edify Podcast Network. Today's tale train is in Kenya. We will be looking at one of the African independent churches found in the western part of Kenya and has followers in the neighboring country of Uganda. Today's tale involves a voice or God spirit named Wele wa Msambwa, Mount Elgon, and a man who had God's voice called Masinde, and of course, the colonialists. The church I'm talking about is known as the Dini Ya Msambwa, a religion from the western part of Kenya with majority of its followers from the Bukusu community. Msambwa is a Kibukusu name which means spirit or demon. This religion was started by a man named Masinde, and he claimed to have heard the voice of Wele wa Msambwa, who instructed him to lead the Bukusu back to their traditional religion and leave the religion of the white man and anything he brought with him. He was also given the message of their living and defeat. The followers of Dini Ya Msambwa worship while facing Mount Elgon, and they believe it to be a sacred dwelling of God and other spirits whom they revere. The British established themselves in different parts of Africa by force and enforced their way of life wherever they went. This was no different in Bukusu land, where their presence led to the people of Bukusu land losing their nationalism as a people. The medicine men, community elders, culture, and religion lost their place in society. This made it easy for the people to accept the message from the missionaries to fill the vacuum left by the loss of their traditional ways due to the white man's brutal force and murders. This did not last for long, as the natives started resenting the missionaries and their word due to the brutal nature of the colonialists. It is around this time that Masinde came to the rescue of his people. When he heard the voice of God, he founded the church of Dini Ya Msambwa. Elijah came from Maeni village in Kimilili, Bungoma County. He founded the religion during World War II and promised the people that he would bring back the veneration of ancestors. Elijah believed in one God, but not one Bible. He claimed that traditional way of life was similar to the Christian religious practices, and there was no problem with practicing aspects of different religions that complemented their traditional religious practices. The way of worship centered on pilgrimage to Mount Elgon, which was equated with Mount Zion, or as they say it in the local tribe, Sayoni. Here, traditional sacrifices were offered and prayers made. Masinde was notably very selective in his use of traditional religion and emphasized that the ancestral tradition and religion in many respects resembled Christian teachings and practices. He taught his followers to pray more to Wele, the Most High God. His followers likened his call to that of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. He was independent-minded and fought against the colonialists, and he urged his people not to offer their children to fight on behalf of the white man. Dini Ya Msambwa rose as an alternative to the mainstream churches which had banned polygamy and female circumcision. By then, colonial oppression was at its peak. The white colonial rulers had no respect for the elders or women. Masinde Wanameme, as he was known, led members of the sect to fight against colonial oppression. His message attracted a lot of followers in both Kenya and the neighboring Uganda. He continued fighting oppression of citizens and corruption in Kenya even after independence. Because of his activities and vibrancy, he was detained several times by the Kenyatta and Moi regimes in Kenya and by Milton Obote in Uganda. The efforts of the Dini Ya Msambwa died down after Masinde passed on in 1987. However, the sect has followers to this day who continue with the ways of worship as taught by Prophet Elijah. For more great podcasts that will build your faith and inspire you, Head over to edify.app and search for the Edify app in the Apple and Google Play stores.